don't think I will ever see it clear.
But my guest today is all the way from Australia. How's it going, Michael?
Really good, really good. No, I just had the most amazing 6 weeks of my life. It's actually pretty depressing to be back with this weather. I was laying on the beach with Monte Rosso in Italy last week in between shows, and yeah, life couldn't have been better. It was amazing. I started in Amsterdam, did a few shows there. I actually had a few gigs cancelled on me right at the last minute, so we ended up going to a few open mics. I had a support act with me who came from Australia, and we had a ball in Amsterdam. Yeah, well, it was actually really bad news. One of the promoters' sons got hit by a truck, and we got this email. I was just like, okay, no dramas. Yeah, we just did, you know, the spur of the moment thing, and actually that was one of the best nights we had. The place was packed. We sold heaps of CDs. One of the highlights was filming on Balcony TV in Hamburg. That was really cool. Just getting introduced in another language. The people took us out afterwards, and we had a few drinks. That was really cool. And probably the best gig was the CD launch that I organised in Budapest. It was actually in a poetry night in a little bookshop, actually, like this really small intimate venue. There's probably about 80 people there. There was no PA when we turned up, and I was like, oh great, no PA, great for the voice. But it was amazing. You couldn't hear anything. If someone had to open up a can of beer, they actually walked outside to open it up because it was just so insulting to the artist. You just don't get that anywhere else. And yeah, that was a really cool night. That was great. Sold CDs, signed autographs for about half an hour after the show. And, you know, it makes it all worthwhile when you can do gigs like that. When did I get here? I got here on Australia Day, actually, in, not New Zealand Day, Australia Day in January. They actually have a Kiwi Day, I didn't know that.
Do they?
It's in middle of February. I was in London a few years ago, and there was all these Kiwis trying to belt me up on the train because I was Australian. I just said I liked sheep, and it was all good. I got here late January this year, and I would have been here early February. I have the second master of the CD, and we've been listening to it the last few days whether or not to change a few things. It's one of those things. I don't think I'll ever be happy with certain aspects of my music, but the songs are great. I'm just very pedantic. But there's 3 or 4 really standout tracks on the CD, and they're the ones we'll be releasing. I grew up in a little street called Grayson Avenue in Katara, and I guess that's why I'm called Grayson. It's where all my music came from, and where I developed myself as a musician. After that, I obviously grew up into a musician, and did all the pub gigs and all the supports you could do in Australia. And a few years ago, I just had enough, and I said, righto, I'm getting out of there. And I did. I got out of there, and I came over to Europe and booked a few gigs, and realised that there's actually people that listen to music in this part of the world, and there seems to be some great opportunities over here. So I packed my bags and I took off. Well, if you actually look at a map of the world, you can't get any further away from Newcastle, Australia, to it says Cork on the map. So it's pretty ridiculous, the distance that I live from home. I live 3 flights from home. But I actually sent the first gig that I got overseas was in Youghal. Well, I thought it was called Youghal. The people at the bus stop thought I was an idiot. But yeah, I had a MySpace reply from a local guy called John Burke, which really needs no introduction. And yeah, we got on really well. He booked me a few shows, and they showed me the studio, and they explained they had a label, and yeah, I thought, why not? The only thing I was going back to Australia besides family and friends was to do cover gigs in pubs where people don't listen, so I thought, you know, why not? Take a chance and go. I've actually got no clothes on at the moment. I think it's half size. It's just a little baby maintenance. Really good for travelling. But recently on the flights that I've been taking, they've changed the rules. You're not allowed to take them on the flights now, so it goes under anyway now. So it's a bit of a worry. But it's actually a good sound because it's got the same pickup as a normal size guitar. It's the same thing as putting a really big engine in a small car. It's going to go faster, and the signal that you get from this little guitar is amazing. I've done a few shows with Aslan this year, and I'll play with them again next Friday night in County Wexford. And the sound guy, every time I do a sound check, he just shakes his head and goes, "You can't believe the signal that I get out of that guitar." I actually did a radio interview in Cork, in the university station. I forget the radio frequency. And the girl there actually got me in touch with Billy, and yeah, I went from there. So I will actually, to be honest, I walked in, didn't know what to expect the first gig. I did that in Enos, in County Clare, is that right? and I didn't know what to expect. And their first sound check was, I was just sitting there going, who the hell are these guys? These guys are awesome. And then the crowd filled up and I thought, right, these guys are the real deal. There's probably 400 people in this place, in this tiny little venue. And yeah, they went off. The lead singer didn't miss a note, and all the musos on stage were pretty tight. Yeah. So you can tell they've been playing for a while. You can play track 3. It's a song called Today. It's one of my favourite tracks. It will be the second single on the album. It's a very pretty song. Yeah, I usually open with that song. It's a good warm up for the vocals. It's good. It's a song that I'll always play. It's one of the more melodic tracks. When you're playing by yourself, it's really hard to play the upbeat, fast songs to make people dance. So you've got to stick to what you can do, and that's a really melodic song that I love playing. We actually went out to Lithuania, went out to Poland. We did a lot of the eastern countries, which I'd never been to before, which was really good. I'd love to go back. I think the eastern countries got some of the most beautiful looking women I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing. It's a different world. Like, you look at the map, and as I say, I'm from a long way away. Everything's different. You know, just the culture is so different. And everyone gets excited when you say you're from Australia. If they think you're American, they spit at you. But and that's honest. Like, I had people really rude to me because they thought I was American. But as soon as I said I was Australian, everything was happy and everything was fine. Yeah. They're very good looking. Yeah, they're all fit. We tried to do 1 or 2 shows a week, and then we'd have a few breaks. And we actually did a lot of the tourist things, which was fantastic. As I said, I had a support from Australia, Tyler Gibbs. He's actually only 20 years old, but he took a leap of faith and came over, and I repaid him by giving him some shows. And we got on like a house on fire. A few times we had a few arguments, as you do when you're living in someone's quarters for 6-7 weeks. But yeah, we had a ball, and we did some things that I never thought I'd get to do.
That everyone deserves to be loved for who they are. Oh, 'cause I'm not perfect, and you're the best I've seen, and you have no idea what you do to me.